Alright, and we are back with Tales of Symphonia. And just as a heads up, I do have my son with me this time, so if you hear crying, briefly, that's why. But, going back to the plot, people died last time. Governor General Dora the Second, Third. So.
Oh yeah, his wife got turned into a monster and just kind of walked away.
Yeah, she's like, no, I've killed my. Did she kill her husband? No, she didn't kill her husband. That was
The little girl stabbed her.
Yeah, I was gonna say the fake daughter.
Yeah. And then the mom was gonna attack them, but
Colette's
they just kind of said stop.
Colette's just like, stop in the name of love, and it's like, and then the mom started to jam. It's like, I love that song, and then just walked off. Was that Madonna that did that song?
No, that was the Supremes.
Okay, because I was gonna say we can talk about how Madonna's kind of a little bit crazy, but
well, they mentioned her at the when I went to the March for Life.
I remember that, and that's what I was curious about, because it's like, what crazy thing did Madonna do now?
Well, she said she thought about blowing up the White House, and so the guy mentioned he hadn't thought about blowing up her house.
I thought he'd mentioned that he had thought about it, but that he wouldn't ever, and that he'd rather pray for her, or something like that.
Yeah, it was along those lines.
Still, by the way, oh, James, I want you to pay attention to at least this part here in a second, because I got extremely salty for a little, like, in 2 minutes here, I got extremely salty.
I was just about to go refill my water and use the restroom. Fine.
Sorry. Like, so this is a minigame that has absolutely no value. Like, none whatsoever, but I decided, you know, it's part of the game, I'll go ahead and do it. They give you names of things where you have to go and find these hints. And, you know, that's not a bad problem. So it's like, you know, departure, I think ship, and then I think eventually I started just looking at my phone. But by the time we got to the last thing, you'll see when we get to the last puzzle solution, because I don't, if I remember correctly, I hadn't saved for 3 hours at this point, and you'll see. I don't want to spoil it too much. But talking about other things that James would be interested in, we talked about this a little bit, but there's a beer company near where I live called Confluence Brewing Company, and I actually like their beer, and I'm trying their Scottish Ale, and it's not too bad. And I know that James said he prefers not Scottish Ale, because that's hit or miss. He'd prefer
Scotch Ale.
Thank you, yeah. Because that tastes different. But, no, I was going to say, I know that this beer company at least supports Catholics a little bit, because I hear them for my local Catholic radio, so that's something that I figured would be pretty neat, you know, a little neat to throw in there. Fuck that kid! Fuck that kid! You'll find out why in 2 minutes. Sorry.
You must hate him.
Oh, 2 minutes? So that's more than enough time for me to use the restroom and fill my water.
Alright, go use the restroom. Oh, I do not like this kid, because, remember, let's just put it this way, I thought I was about to lose 3 hours of progress because of this kid.
Oh, boy.
Oh, they're talking about that whole questionable thing that we talked about last time about, should you technically lie to a person to appease him and then make him feel better? And it's like, you know.
It's understandable, honestly.
I don't know if I could, but at the same time, it's hard. I mean, it's like, you kind of got that scenario with the whole Jews during World War II. It's like, do you lie to the Nazis, which is a sin? Or, you know, because it's like, if the Nazis technically asked, are there any Jews in this room? And you said no, then technically it's not a lie. So, I mean, you know.
I think there needs to be,
harmful intent?
Yeah, there needs to be malice in it. Like, if you're telling them a lie with the explicit, oh, someone's going to suffer because of this, and you know that, and you tell the lie, then there's malicious intent involved in it. But if it's to protect something or to help someone, I think it's a tad different.
I think you're right. I can see that. I mean, it's hard to tell. Yeah, this was the point where I just decided I'm just going to look it up. But yeah, I'd say that's probably one of the harder sins to judge on, because it can be hard sometimes, you know.
Yeah, what is a lie? What isn't? What's a Oh my gosh.
Oh, it wasn't even 2 minutes. James, I hope you're back. So fuck this kid. Because, this kid, I thought I was going to lose 3 hours of progress. I am stuck for like half an hour on this little shit because I did not want to do 3 hours of it again. By the way, I did not record all 30 minutes of it, of course. I'm showing you I am completely and 100% stuck because of this little shit. So, that's why I hate this kid. Because he ran me into a wall, and he will not get out of my way. So.
I'm assuming at some point you got out of it, though.
Oh, yes. Yes. Trust me, I would have been more furious with this kid if I had not gotten out of it. But, like, you're obviously supposed to, yeah. So, I think I just skipped because it's like, I wasn't expecting to actually, I was about to give up. I think I took a nap because I was so frustrated after that. I was about to give up and then restart, but I actually wasn't able to get out, so I couldn't technically show myself getting out of there. But it does show you at the end how long it took. So I think it was 200 minutes. Because remember, I did take a nap as well because I figured, you know, he's technically still moving. Maybe he'll move out of my pathway, hopefully, and I'm not stuck. So it's like, all right, I'm just
because it's almost like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, it's like, I'm just gonna take a nap, and that's one of the reasons why technically, you know, I have so much time. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, no problem.
There you go. Sorry. That's why I technically have already 90 hours in the game and I'm not done. So, stuff like that where I happen to be falling asleep.
I'm going to be a pirate runner. Oh, boy.
Yar. That actually plays into the game a little bit, but I'll show where later, because that's much further into the game. And I think I kind of forgot to cut this down partially, because I can guarantee you I'm looking for where the next puzzle piece is.
It's a complicated puzzle.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too hard, but it's annoying enough, I guess. By the way, guess who has the puzzle piece for the last one? You little turd. So, not only does he get me stuck, he also happens to have the puzzle piece for the last puzzle. So, let's see how long this did actually take me. I can't remember. Alright, there we go.
200, wow.
As I said, I took a nap. I was not happy. So I was like, I'm just gonna hope that eventually he gets out of here. And he did. And I felt refreshed because not only did I not lose 3 hours, I got a nap. Oh, excuse me.
I think we were mentioning the alcohol company near you. There's actually pretty sure it's in Iowa. There's Trappist nuns that make truffles and candy and other kind of chocolates.
I'd be interested. Ooh, that'd be interesting. So I was gonna say, I know that there's some monks that make coffins or caskets, I think, so.
Oh yeah, Trappists, and I think other orders focus on work. They make things so that they can sell them to maintain their
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that it's Trappists that make the coffins near here. I guess I left those in just because those were split seconds, so. I don't know why I left them in, but you know. On the bright side, I think we're finally moving out of this city, so. I think this is the longest amount of time that we have to focus in a city, period, in general, if that makes sense, because it's just like, you know.
Yeah, most of the time we'd finish up in a village and then move on somewhere else.
And I think we've been in like this area of the woods for 4 episodes, I want to say. Maybe 3, but either way.
It's been a little while here because I think I remember us being in.
I want to say it was about episode 8. Like, we got here, at least. On the bright side, they do have fast travel. So, I'm going to escort her. I don't remember why I only did part of the way, though. As I said, it's been...
I forgot they had female clergy.
Yeah. I forgot as well. I think... No, I already... Okay. Did I explain that if you name all the dogs, you get a title for Colette?
Yeah, because she names every dog that she meets.
Yeah. I remember what I had to do here, because I had to go get the statue for the old pervert guy. Otherwise, he wouldn't let me read the book.
That is such a strange sentence.
Yeah. But hold on. You can't bring the statue here, because... Ta-da-da-da!
I lost it.
Yup. Congratulations. That makes enough sense.
Yeah, you want to protect it by bringing it with you where you could easily drop it or get...
I was gonna say put it in a backpack. I mean, come on, man. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Guess who made the? Guess who made the duplicate? Lloyd's dad. Yup. Oh. Oh, fuck it. Yeah. We gotta go to that. We gotta go backtracking again.
I wonder how big this thing is that they had to carry it by hand and then they dropped it and lost it.
You can see it right behind them, right there. The thing with wings, right there.
Oh, it's the fake one.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, I think that technically you can't solve this puzzle if Genus doesn't have any ice spells, if I remember correctly.
I'm assuming he's got some at the moment because you've been leveling.
Yeah, he definitely does. I can't remember if that's a true statement or not, though. That's the thing. Man, I just want to get through some Tales of Symphonia stuff so we can get to the good stuff. Because it's like, up until about episode 18, it's kind of bland. Once we get past episode 18, it's like, oh boy, here's the fun stuff. Have fun.
Yeah, it's been like hit or miss, I'd assume. Some episodes are like, oh, here comes a ton of plot, ton of stuff, and then we go right back to very, very slow-moving everything.
Yeah, and I was going to say, this one's pretty slow. It seems like about every other episode we get plot. And to be fair, that I can't entirely blame that on the game. That may be my playstyle. So, kind of like this, how we're just standing here, flapping our arms about doing nothing. So, I mean, I won't entirely blame the game for this one, just because it's like, I don't know, it doesn't seem fair. Why am I talking to you? Did we name that dog? What am I doing? You know how to do this. Go. What am I doing?
Were you just here?
Yeah, we had this. This is where the seal of water was. So we have to. This is the backtracking.
The boats that they sold you guys.
Yeah. So I say technically, I don't think we had to have backtracked. I think we could have done this all in one go, but I did stuff out of order. So you know. I really wish that I'd done the first part of the game out of order, because I've heard it's a lot more interesting than the base game, because, as I said, you can technically go to like the last areas of the initial part of the game first. It's harder, but, you know, it opens up some cutscenes you wouldn't normally see and such. So it's interesting, too.
Yeah. Well... How on earth did they get the statue over there?
You know, I mean, I have no clue. Unless you threw it. I mean,
that's what I'm thinking. Why? Like, even if it was an accident, that's a pretty good throwing distance.
Yeah, I mean, James, what do you think of that throwing distance?
What throwing distance?
We were talking about how this stuff that's happening. We have to go retrieve a statue, and it's like all the way out in the middle of bum nowhere, and it's like, how?
Oh,
I mean,
you mean the dropping distance?
yeah, quote unquote dropping distance. When he dropped it.
Because he said he dropped it. He lost it.
So, given how easy that was to get, how did nobody go after, the big chunk of diamond sitting on the other side?
Apparently, nobody else but Genius is a spellcaster in this world? Question
People
mark?
could have just gotten a 2x4 of wood at a long enough distance, and just
Yeah.
laid a bridge across, and you would have been able to pay for hundreds, maybe thousands, maybe millions more of those 2x4s with the amount of diamonds in that statue.
Use a fishing pole.
The fishing pole may not work, just because of how heavy it would be.
A fishing pole and some strong gum.
You should see some of the fish people catch.
I guess that's true, but I mean...
You just need a good adhesive to...
Yeah,
stick to.
you need... Because I was going to say, I don't really
It's
know
like-
if there's anything you could hook.
This one time, my uncle always talks about this one fish he caught that was like this big, but he had to throw it back.
Well, I mean, everybody has that story, though, to be fair.
I know.
By the way, I want to point out that Lloyd actually had a moment of intelligence here. So, congratulations, Lloyd.
How intelligent was he?
Basically pointing out something that would have been pretty obvious to most people, but hell, hey, nobody except for Lloyd ever thought of it until now. So,
Oh, that does seem pretty dumb then. They just
Yeah.
kind of... I guess they figured they were beating up on him too hard, so they just kind of... what would the term be? Softballed him one? Or,
yeah, they do
yeah.
that on occasion. Man, I can't wait till we get to the editing for one of the cutscene or the skits, because it's I had fun with that one. In yeah, I don't know. That's like episode 18 though, so we got a bit. See, the thing is, the game gets so much more interesting like the later half.
Yeah, they're mostly just getting small odds and ends done.
Yeah, you got to build up the plot, and then honestly, once we get to the other half, we'll also have a lot more to talk about because they start strawmanning it pretty badly later on. So, it's just like, we gotta make it through 8 more episodes, guys, and then we'll be good. Hooray! But you know.
Alright.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
I can't wait to see what we see.
I was gonna say, we do finally get some better plot points here in the next couple of episodes. It's just, they're going for the slow reveal instead of the reveal all at once, so they start doing the bits and pieces here and there so you can start making connections, but the thing, I don't know about you guys, I typically don't have, if it's not a book, I'm not really making connections here and there, because it's like, oh hey, they pointed that out in the book, whereas it's a video game, it's like, whatever, I'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, at the moment, I honestly have no clue what's gonna happen. I mean, I think I have like small guesses, but even then, I have no idea.
Oh, I love my cat, but he keeps trying to sit on my family heirloom Bible, so it's like every time he goes there, I'm just gonna move my hand to your butt and proceed you off of there. But yeah, no, it does get better. It's just, it's the slow build. It's the slow build.
Is there any reason why this guy needed this statue?
Basically because he didn't need it, but basically he could charge us in order to actually look at this book, which is an orb, whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
I got you.
Also, now that we gave him the statue, he's letting us go cross for free. So there's that.
Oh yeah,
too.
where the original toll was like 1,000,000 gold or
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Something like that. I can't remember what exactly.
An evil. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, this is very easy. This is very easy to guess now. I think it's gonna go the Final Fantasy X route.
Yeah, a little bit. If I'm remembering, as I said, I need to finish Final Fantasy X. So speaking of, by the way, I was looking for the PS2 so I could record Shadow of the Colossus for us because obviously, you know, reasons. Final Fantasy X is still in my wife's PS2, so
That would certainly. I mean, we have like an entire, I think, backlog of RPGs we'd like to cover, and
Skies
that one
Arcadia,
certainly would be interesting. Yeah.
Skies Arcadia, both Golden Suns. I mean, yeah, we can. Why don't we just do one analysis of a giant RPG like that? Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I do.
if it's a game that we 100% love, let's do it. But like, it's stuff like this where it's like we're nitpicking, or not nitpicking, I suppose, analyzing why they would try to think that and just kind of point out their mistakes, kind of like how Trent Horn picked apart the mistakes that Ricky Gervais made when he was on the Stephen Colbert Show. It's like, yeah, it's not meant out of malice. It's just, no, you guys kind of have this wrong. Just depending on what you're saying, just a little bit or just a lot.
Yeah,
of it,
it's talked around. Like anytime there should be a direct answer, it's kind of skirted around as, oh well, I'm smart.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I mean, that's just crazy. It's like, I mean, even for atheists, they should be able to figure it out. It's like, either there's God and he matters, or all our lives don't matter anyways. I mean, obviously, I think God, obviously, I believe God is with all of us, and that he very much, oh, hey, new enemies. That does matter, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it just seems a bit odd to say it's all one giant coincidence that everything formed correctly. Everything just on a slight thing merged so that we didn't die of extreme heat or extreme cold.
Not just that, it just doesn't make sense to me. Because I've been thinking about it. It's like, especially now that I have my firstborn son, we never would have survived if animals found the human race without, like, God guiding all the animals. We would have been boned. Like, there is no way we could have survived.
I mean, look at the Ice Age when most of humanity died out, I'm pretty sure.
That might be the Neanderthals, actually, not humanity.
Because I think it was, my numbers could be completely wrong, so feel free to correct me. Pretty sure the population of early man during the Ice Age fell down to like 10,000.
It's a good question. As I said, that may not have been humanity, because I was going to say, you have to remember, humanity and Neanderthals, I think, were side by side for a while.
I think the Neanderthals died out prior to the Ice Age.
Did they? Okay, I couldn't remember.
Because I think Ice Age...
Because, like, whenever somebody tries to point out that Neanderthals are humans' cousin, it's like, they're similar, but they're not. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, yeah, we share traits, but there's really no actual, at least not yet, like, definitive, link.
You need to remember that enemy's weakness. Oh, man,
yeah, I think we're more related to the Cro-Magnon.
I think so.
The Cro-Magnon were more human as opposed to the Neanderthal.
James, what do you think?
About what? Something about Cro-Magnons and Neanderthals.
We were talking about how evolution plays into Catholicism, how it's just... I was making the point how atheist, it just doesn't make much sense without God, at least not to me, due to the fact that unless you have, like, God, making it so people evolve at a time, humans would have been boned so bad unless, something was watching us. Because it's like, after having my firstborn son, we can't do shit for, like, the first at least couple of years.
Yeah, it's crazy small random chance on top of crazy small random chance.
Yeah, it's like,
that's the thing. It's hard to just kind of say everything. Oh, everything's just been one giant coincidence.
Yeah, everything
one
was
giant
mistake.
Extreme coincidence that everything happened to work out okay.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to make much.
Yeah, I make it a policy never to assume coincidence when providence could be just as much of an answer.
Yeah. We were talking about how Ricky Gervais was on the Steve Colbert Show, and Trent Horn, kind of knocked out all of Ricky Gervais's comments about why he's an atheist and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, the whole. Well, you've chosen one god out of, like, what, 3,000. I love seeing that get demolished, because that's just...
It's like, no, we've chosen the one god. There is no 3,000.
We don't just blindly assume, oh yeah, I'll follow it.
Yeah. It's like, no, we've chosen one god, not one of 3,000, one god. Pardon me.
There's a reason why RCIA exists, why you have to learn so much, understand so much and make the conscious choice. Yeah, I'd like to convert. Like, it's not as easy as, oh, you believe? Yeah, great, you're in, dude. You got it. All you
Yeah.
gotta do is believe that God exists, and that's all you got.
Yeah. It's not that easy, as much as people seem to think it is.
Yeah, and even then, a lot of those, the false gods are looked at more as being, maybe not on Earth, but within the same plane of humanity. Like,
I thought typically a lot of the false gods were typically portrayed as demons, if I remember correctly.
well, I think Saint Augustine said that they were demons in a way, or the Old Testament said that they were.
I'd have to double check because I'm.
I mean, I'm not acknowledging that they existed, but I think the people that believed in them in a different way that we believe in God, in which
Right,
we know
'cause-
that God is separate from our universe because He created it.
Right, they didn't have the
So
full
he's-
understanding, so I mean, they can't.
Yeah, so they'd
obviously-
say, "Oh, thunder, lightning. That's thunder, lightning, God in the clouds."
Right, I was gonna say, kind of
It's-
like, correct me if I'm wrong. Plato almost made his way to Christianity, but he didn't know of Christianity.
Yeah, I think he started to draw away. I know I think there was a Jewish cult or a monotheistic cult in Greece or ancient Greece, or something in that degree, or one that thought that Zeus was sort of like the head, but there weren't other gods. There was, I don't know. It's confusing. Ancient Greece had a lot.
Yeah, ancient Greece was a little unique in like most of those regards, honestly. Oh hey, I got poisoned, so. By the way, that area we were just in, yeah, we don't have to come to that till later. That's the third temple, whatever you want to call it, so. Hey, there's...
Is that a
Go ahead.
design riding a dinosaur?
Yeah, I mean, it's technically supposed to be a dragon, but... I mean, it's a Velocidragon, so I guess it's a dinosaur dragon? Question mark?
Well, there was that, I mean, History Channel, but it was fiction. It was supposed to be, I guess, just to flatter people who like dragons, but they had dragons existed alongside dinosaurs in the early days.
Of course. History Channel's gone down a hill so
Oh my
fast.
gosh, they have. I used to. Well, I mean, if you like watching Swamp Loggers, Axemen, Pawn Stars,
Pawn Stars is on History
Um,
Channel?
I think it still is. I don't know if they run it anymore.
I thought it was on a different channel, not History Channel. I thought it was like A&E
Nah.
or something.
It was on History Channel. You're thinking of Hardcore Pawn. That's on A&E.
Me? Do you think they have any... Okay, I'm gonna make this bad joke. Do you think they have any copies of Battletoads? They had to be made.
Oh man. They had it in the background for a reason.
They did. That way it's like, yes, we have a copy of Battletoad for $9,001. Yes.
I mean, I think somebody would try and buy that out of spite.
I think so too. That way they'd have to, yeah.
Because
How much is Battletoads now? To Amazon.
But heard that apparently the guy with the highest Steam level, like you level up your Steam profile when you craft cards, badges, and stuff.
Mhm.
This guy is the highest level possible, 1,000 something. He's spent $110,000 to get it that way.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's like, I have no interest in that myself. Battletoads isn't too expensive. $25.
Oh yeah, you can get that's not bad at all.
Yeah. Did they re-release Final Fantasy 12? What?
I think they're planning on it.
July 11th, 2017. Is it?
Yeah, it must be a re-release.
Is it a re-release or is it a? Let's see.
or a remaster.
It looks like a re-release. I don't know why they wouldn't just call it Final Fantasy 12 HD like they did with Final Fantasy 10. Whatever. I'm just not gonna question it. Oh, by the way, I like this skit, and you might want to remember this later because that comes into play later on in the game. Like, not seriously, but it's a cute little skit. I was curious if each character would change here it doesn't. So as I said, like in 4 episodes, there's going to be a cute little skit involving. I don't know if cute so much as heartbreaking. Now that I think about it, but that'll do it for this episode of Tales of Symphonia. Thanks for watching, guys, and God bless.